In this video, we'll see about the GetROProperty. GetROProperty will give you runtime object property values. So, if you want to learn the property values during the runtime of the objects, actual objects, you'll use the GetROProperty. So, that is GetROProperty. But before that, let me show you one example here. That is HP MyFlight sample application. On this sample application, if you see, there's an agent name, password, OK and cancel button. Now, this OK button, I want to learn the property values of this OK button. The property value is, let's say, property is enabled. I want to see if it is enabled or disabled. So, enabled property of this button is right now as false. So, when it will become as true, when I type here as some name, let's say as John, and I type any password, if I type here as P or anything, it will become as enabled, right? The enabled property will become as true. So, what I want to do is, I want to learn the property value of this OK button at the runtime when it starts for the first time. So, if you observe, I have opened the application now, okay, right now it is enabled properties false. So, but via the script, how do I get it? Okay, so if you see here, that is WPF window, that is the name of the parent object dot WPF button, and that is the child object OK button. I want to learn that object property, so I'll type as GetROProperty, runtime object property. RO means runtime object, and this is the property name. Instead of this property name, you can type any other property name, like say height, focused, or you can say as width, x coordinate, y coordinate. You can change the property names here itself. After you get, if you want that property, you will get some answer, let's say true or false. I want to store that true or false in this variable as a, right? That is a equal to, and finally I want to display as in the form of message box, whatever the value is there, right? So let us see that. If I execute, if I click on this run button, I'll click on run. Let us see now. Okay, it says the enable property of this OK button is right now as false. So it has given me as message box false. So I'll just click on OK. Now what I'll do is, I want to make it as true. So I'll just go back to this application here in this place, and now I'll type here as John, okay, and I'll type here as anything as P, okay, and I'll keep my cursor outside. So remember, I have not done any record and run settings. I have just opened the application at the taskbar, and when I execute, it will open that, it will invoke that application itself. Now I'll just click on this run button and click on run. Now I'm expecting answer as true. So once I click on run button, yeah, you see the answer is given as true because I have typed there as John and one alphabet in the password. So the button became enabled. So I'll just click on OK, right? So if you see here, I'll just close this result window. Yeah. So you see this is enabled right now. If I make it back, okay, if I go back and if I click on this run button, I'll just click on run, again it will show me as false, which is working fine. Now suppose I don't want this enabled property, if I want something else. So what I can do is, I can remove this, okay, and I can just type as height. This is the property name which I want. Height will give you some number. I'll HEIGHT, that is correct, F5, run. So it says height of the object is 36. So whatever you want, you keep on changing the property name and you'll get the values. You can store the values. Based on values, you can create different conditions. For example, I'll just click on OK. Now, what I've done is, on that same example, okay, I'll change it enabled. And what I've written is, I've written a code here. I'll just show you that code. This was commented, so I'll remove the comment part, Control Shift M. Okay. So what I've done is, whatever input I'll get in the message box in the a variable, I want to check whether that variable is true or not. If a equal to true, then what you have to do is, you have to display some message that the button is enabled. If the message is a value is false, you have to message as button is disabled. That is the thing you have to do. So I have put some condition on that. So if value is true, it will show as button is enabled. If value is false, it will show as button is disabled. Now let us see that. If I click on this run button and if I click on this run, but before that, let me show you the object here first. Yeah, right now this value is enabled properties false. So what you'll get the answer is, you'll get the answer button is disabled, because a equal to false, it will not go here, it will come in the else part. So I'll just click on this run button, run. So you see it is showing as first as false, message box false, and if I click on OK, it says button is disabled. So it went to the else part and it is displaying the message itself, right? Okay, so if you want, you can just keep on creating the conditions based on the condition, it will give you the output itself. So I hope you're able to understand what exactly is GetROProperty and how do you use it into your scripting part. That's all for this video.